This was the house that Kevin Keegan, lieutenant who was sent down to see what the situation was in the ground when they first heard that the attack by the Essex and Newfoundland Regiment had failed. So he came to this house here where there was an observation post and a ladder going up a wall. And it was from here he could see the 200 to 300 Germans advancing towards the village. He had to run back through the village to go to the Newfoundland headquarters and let them know the situation.
Okay.
And there was nobody in the village except for headquarters staff, some wounded and some medical men. We're heading towards the assembly trench area from which the attack began on the early morning of the 14th. Well, the 611 Newfoundlanders attacked east of the village on the morning of the 14th. There was approximately 800 Essex troops on their left. Where we're heading to now is the area in which the Newfoundlanders advanced from. The assembly trench. It was a trench that they built a couple of days before the attack, from which they would jump out ahead of the village.
Yeah.
Over here, we believe it's the area from which they defended the village afterwards.
Yeah.
So David and I have done some work on it. We've kind of figured out that down here, based upon some pictures of fence posts which appear to be marking the land, which were taken in 1919, and the distance in which the descriptions of the distance from the house to the edge,
yeah,
which varies from 100 to 150 yards, would put them somewhere around this area. Initially, when they first got there, they went into something called rapid fire.
Yeah.
And so it appeared that there were many more of them in the trench than there actually were. So in the first, only 9 actually made it to the trench in the first part. One soldier, by the name of Hillier from Newfoundland, got about halfway before he was knocked out by a shell. Mm-hmm. And an hour and a half later, he actually joins them and make up 10th person.
So the Germans actually thought that there were a lot more of them than there were.
Yeah. Now, one of the problems they had, of course, is they didn't have enough ammunition to keep up rapid fire for very long. So once they drove the Germans to cover, and a lot of them ended up in the assembly trench, which the British had built, they started picking off runners and scouts. So they couldn't relay the information back to let them know. So, and they kept this up for 4 hours before it got quiet enough to send back a runner to brigade headquarters, which was a couple of kilometers back this way.